It is no secret at this point that Russell Wilson is open to taking his talents elsewhere, expressing interest in playing for the New Orleans Saints, who officially will not have Drew Brees now that he's announced his retirement. The Las Vegas Raiders, who publicly have said Derek Carr is their guy, and the Chicago Bears, who plan to make a big swing to acquire Wilson. That according to our Jeremy Fowler. Stephen A. Smith, which team should most want to trade for Russell Wilson?
Well, easily right now, it's the New Orleans Saints. There's no question. And it's not just because Drew Brees is retired. It's because of what Russell Wilson brings to the table. He's not a completely inaccurate passer. He's pretty damn accurate himself. Plus, he can run with the football in ways that Drew Brees could never dream of. Plus, he still has Michael Thomas there as well. Plus, a versatile guy to rely upon in Taysom Hill, who can sit up there and sub at quarterback, but could also do some other things as well. When you look at that, along with Sean Payton, who's like 143 and 81 as a coach, winning nearly 64% of the games he's coached in New Orleans. I'm looking at the numbers right here since Payton arrived, Max. He's been there since 2006, okay? 10 different times in that span, they have had a top 5 offense. How many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times they've been top 3. Twice they've been number 1. Once they've been number 2. I mean, this man knows what he's doing on the offensive side of the ball. And then we sit there, we parlay that into a discussion about Russell Wilson in terms of his issues with Seattle. Well, you're not protecting him, number one. He's been sacked about 364 times, been hit over 1,100 times. He's tired of getting beat up by his offensive line, and he called them out. So what's the chances of him being better protected next year after calling out your damn offensive line in the offseason, Max? I would say that's in jeopardy. You got to take into account also the fact that what he's had an issue with Pete Carroll and his coaching staff, which included 2 of his sons, by the way, he had a problem with the fact that he felt like, hey, we weren't innovative enough, we weren't being creative enough, and the teams throughout the National Football League that were being successful were stepping up their game in terms of innovativeness and being a bit creative. Well, no one would ever accuse Sean Payton of being devoid in that category. The man takes risk. He's not exactly no risk it, no biscuit like Bruce Arians is in terms of that's not his adage or the phrase that he uses. But he coaches like that.
Offensive brain.
He coaches like that, and we know what he brings to the table. So if you're talking about Russell Wilson going someplace where you're going to have a shot at a Super Bowl, and more importantly, you're going to be in an offense that you enjoy leading, and then you combine that with the fact that the New Orleans Saints haven't won a Super Bowl, nor have they been to a Super Bowl since 2009, I mean, hey, that seems to be a great situation for him, particularly since Michael Thomas has something to prove since last year. Clearly, him and Drew Brees were not on the same page. He didn't play that much either. He got injury prone. So I would say the Saints is the perfect situation for Russell Wilson.
Saints are high leverage because they're ready to win a Super Bowl if they had better quarterback play, not just than Taysom Hill, but then Drew Brees last year, who in recent years has worn down throughout the course of the season. There's an argument there. The better argument is for the Bears, because we're asking which team should most want to trade for Russell Wilson. If you married where he should want to go plus which team would want for him, I think the argument for New Orleans would be stronger. But the Bears have never had a great quarterback, ever. Not in my lifetime. Never. The 1985 Bears were the greatest team of all time, right? Because the undefeated Patriots lost to my Giants, Stephen A., in 07. So the Bears, the 85 Bears, that's like the way in baseball they once said the 27 Yankees, where they don't even use the name of the Bulls. The 72-win Bulls team, right? That's the 85 Bears. And it's a football-starved town. They won a Super Bowl so bad. But even McMahon, they didn't have a great quarterback. Do you realize if you talked about the top 3 quarterbacks in the last, 35 years for the Bears, Jay Cutler would be on the list? Think about that for a second. They need a quarterback in the worst kind of way. And while they don't have the offense of New Orleans, they have some decent offensive pieces. And they have a defense. And they have a tradition in terms of passion for football in Chicago that is unmatched. Russell Wilson, I said this about Deshaun Watson, I'll say it about Russell Wilson, who has a more team-friendly deal than Deshaun Watson. And the Bears are on his list. Russell Wilson, if he could win a Super Bowl in Chicago, would make himself a different kind of icon than almost anyone playing. And look, pick your poison. You want to compete against Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers. Neither one is easy. But I think the reward is higher if you can win a Super Bowl in Chicago, and I think Chicago needs the quarterback more. Taysom Hill can play some. The Bears need a great quarterback. They've never had
They
one.
desperately need one. You're absolutely right, Max. But what about Matt Nagy? Do we believe in him? Do we believe
Not
in him?
like we believe in Sean Payton.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And that's what we talk about here. So it's a combination of not just who should want Russell Wilson, but who Russell Wilson should want. We can't ignore that because it's Russell Wilson that we're talking about here. There's no way in hell that Russell Wilson should want Matt Nagy in Chicago more than he wants Sean Payton in New Orleans. Not to mention the fact that Sean Payton and New Orleans are playing in a dome. When that wind chill kicks into Chicago, it's like no other. You understand what I'm saying? It's like no other. So let me tell you something right now. I mean, I'm sorry, but if I got an opportunity to play in a dome in New Orleans, as opposed to playing in Chicago in December and January, that's nothing to think about.
As you would say, that's slick, Stephen A.
Yeah,
That's slick of you. You know
is,
why? Because you just turned the question into where should Russell Wilson want? Who should most want to trade for him? Oh, yeah, Russell Wilson, you made the argument. What can I say? Right. The dome with a great offensive line. But the Bears need the Saints just coming off of Drew Brees. And by the way, Taysom Hill can play, and they can figure that out. Coach believes in Taysom Hill. He told us at the Super Bowl, and apparently he really does. Mm-hmm. The Bears need this in the worst kind of way. Also, Sean Payton and the Saints and everything, I wouldn't say they're a more functional, ready-to-win team year in and year out than Seattle. That's about a parallel move. Like, Russell Wilson is not going to find, I got out of Seattle. Now I'm in New Orleans. Everything's so much better. I don't know. They're kind of similar to me. But if you can win in Chicago, and Chicago needs it more than anyone in the league, they need a great quarterback.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.